Let's do some stock picking in the semi space today. I'm Jill Malandrino with the Street's Options Profits.
And I'm Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com.
So let's get back to some basics. Let's go into a sector that's been performing relatively well. Let's pick some stocks. Let's forget about Europe. Before we get into our trade, let's look at SMH.
SMH is the ETF for the semis, and we were talking about this yesterday, seeing the relative strength. We actually had some fun on the trading floor talking about all the names we used to trade back in 2000 to 2003 when they were hot. But this group is back in vogue again, and we're like, oh my goodness, we used to trade these then, and now you can do it again. So if you look at the semis SMH, you'll see nice tight channel. Okay, big move off the lows. It's been in a descending channel for the past almost month. If you want to put this into two different phases here, you have this upper level, which if we get hold above this level, momentum will be really tight, and then I think we get a break above this 32 quicker. If we break below this area and we get some more European headlines, you could see a move back to test the downside area, which means it'll probably just take a bit more time. So upper level, lower level, but this group looks like it's in the game.
Right, so for our T3 options profits all-in-one trade of the day, I want to take a look at KLA-Tencor. Short term, you might see some choppiness there, but for the long term, the stock has a great margin profile. It's got a great cash position, zero debt. It pays a nice, healthy dividend. The company expects to grow bookings 25 to 45%, which will translate into revenue growth for calendar year 2012. Remember that the semis are on a different fiscal year than your calendar year would suggest. So I'm really excited about this stock long term. Estimates look consensus estimates look a little bit weak going into the next quarter, but again, with that healthy booking number and the company expecting revenue to grow, I'm really excited about this name for the long term.
I'll tell you that this stock brings back memories. I learned how to trade on KLAC, Novelis, and AMAT, and when I pointed it out to the boys yesterday, like, oh my goodness, KLAC's near the highs. If you look at the chart of KLAC, you'll say, I call it KLAC because those are the symbols, but the real name is
it's on a West Coast radio station.
Yeah, there you go. This is big support. Okay, this is support that held as we went sideways as the stock tried to break out recently. The market's not letting things really break out yet. As you saw with the SMHs, they were in the moving averages. KLAC or KLA is well above it, so it's showing you relative strength. So for momentum to stay intact, I believe it should hold above this, just say 46 area, but if we get pressure in the market, it could test this lower range. The lower end of this area is around 40, I would say 45-ish, and then if we do get really, really pressured, you know, you have the moving averages down here. So kind of put this into support 1, 2, and 3. Here's 1, here's 2, here's 3. The higher we hold, the more prone it is for a real breakout this year.
Right, so fundamentally, again, I would look for this thing to pull back 5 to 10% because I love the long-term metrics. And the way that you could play that from an options perspective is with a time spread where you sell a more near-term call against a longer dated call. You hope that the short call expires to pay for your longer position, and then you're long a call, which is your bullishly biased thesis on the stock.
There you go.
There you go. Thank you very much, Scott.
My pleasure.